Thank you very much. Good morning. Hello. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear co-workers. Nice to see you. So this year's comparatively young on this 25th of February, but I still have my favorite music for this year. Could be heard, well, a couple of minutes ago here. It was you chatting, laughing, talking to each other. Well, I missed it so much, really. I'm incredibly happy that you are all here. It has been a very tough 3 years with the pandemic. So let's enjoy these encounters that ultimately make up the Berlinale atmosphere. But we should also be aware that we are meeting in a very sad, in a very tense time. 1 year ago yesterday, Russia invaded Ukraine. Welcome to the award presentation of the independent and international juries. I'm Holger Hettinger, I'm head of music of Deutschlandfunk and Deutschlandfunk Kultur, and I'd like to guide you through this ceremony. We've got quite a straight schedule, so let's try not to exceed 1 hour, as we try every year. The Berlinale in the area of tension between re-encounter and war, that could be my cue for the festival directors, Executive Director Mariette Rissenbeek and Artistic Director Carlo Chatrian.
Yes. Also, good morning from my side. I'm very, very pleased to see so many people in this room. In the past 3 years, or the past 2 editions, it was not possible to have you all here on the spot, but it's so warm, heartwarming to see you all here. I think, you know, the Berlinale always has been a political festival. In this edition, it was very important for us to both mention or to both develop activities for the Iranian filmmakers as well as the Ukrainian filmmakers, as film is always a language which is connected to society in which we live. And I'm very glad that we really managed to give these filmmakers, these countries, the political situation in these countries a voice. I think film matters. I also on this spot would like to remind of the victims and the survivors of the earthquake in Turkey and Syria, because this was very shocking. So briefly before the Berlinale, we could not really develop a good project for this, but I think we will continue supporting filmmakers. This morning I had a talk with someone who told me that actually the filmmakers in Turkey stopped shooting for 1 week and sent all the material and the teams and the technique they had to the earthquake area to support helping the survivors there managing their life. So this is also what shows that film really pays attention to what is happening in society. So these are my... I leave the word to Carlo, who is much more into the films which you have seen.
Well, I won't talk about the film, but thanks, Mariette. It's good to see that we are still here with energy after 10 days of, almost 10 days of hopefully engaging experience, moving stories, films that help us in connecting better with the world and among each others. I don't have really much to say, simply a big thank to all the participants at the festival. The festival has been so exciting thanks to the stories, the filmmakers, the producer, the actors they have brought. Thanks also to the answer of the response from the audience. And as we are here to celebrate some winner, of course I extend my thanks also to the other filmmakers that are not here. And of course, a big thank to the juror. They have worked hard to watch the film. I hope with that it comes also a little bit of pleasure. I'm looking forward to hear your response. The independent jury are very important to us because, you know, we live in a multicultural society. We live in a world where different perspectives, and I'm completely aware that different people can award different films. So I'm very much looking forward to your response. And again, thanks for being part of the 73rd Berlinale.
Thank you, Mariette. Thank you, Carlo. Mille grazie. So, this year I really became aware that the Berlinale lives, of course, from the aspects of cinematic art, but at least as much from exchange, from encounters, from the critical dialogue that is triggered by the films. And of course, there are also constant factors over the years. The diversity of the different creative approaches are still in the center of attention, of course. Almost 400 movies sum up to a wide range of political, formal, and aesthetic positions, and it's the merit of the independent juries to illustrate the enormous variety of these different approaches. So this is why the work of these juries is so important for the festival and also for the public. They appreciate creative performances from different points of view. Today there will be 8 juries awarding 10 prizes, with criteria that differ from case to case according to the intention of the prize. I'll try to sketch out these intentions in advance of every jury's awarding. No need to take notes. At the end of the award ceremony, you will get a list with all the award winners and the special mentions back there at the exit of the room. So far, our formalities. Let's start with our ceremony with the Amnesty International Film Prize. Since the year 2005, this prize is on the agenda of this ceremony. The jury viewed films entered in the competition and in the youngest section, the encounters, as well as in the Panorama, Forum, Generation and Perspektive Deutsches Kino programs. They paid special attentions on the topic of human rights according to the objective of Amnesty International's meritorious work. The prize is worth 5,000 euros. I'd like to introduce the jury of this year. These are the German actress and winner of the prestigious Bavarian Film Award, Lea van Acken, the director and screenwriter Burhan Kurbani, and Markus Beko, General Secretary of Amnesty International Germany. Welcome.
First of all, the jury wants to thank the Berlinale. Carlo, Marietta, the whole team, you've done such an amazing job in the last few days, and we are really, really grateful for this incredible, compelling festival, including a wealth of films with a bearing on politics, society, and human rights.
Partners in crime, partners in poverty, partners in peril. When the money's running out, the salary checks for your hard work stop coming in, and life becomes impossibly expensive, then even the life of an unborn child is up for discussion. Although actually the time for discussion is over. The protagonists of our winning film, a couple from the city of Aden in Yemen, have already made up their minds. She's pregnant, but they cannot keep the child. They can't afford it because along with the rent, removal costs, repair costs, and the school fees for their 3 children, there just isn't enough money to support another child. The film describes the couple's odyssey in search of a doctor who will determine her pregnancy.
Partners in poverty, partners in peril, partners in crime. How can you sustain hope and confidence in a world marked by poverty, war, and a lack of prospects? A world that demands every last effort from parents if they are to inspire courage and confidence in their children, but also simply provide them with food, a roof over their head, and an education.
Our winning film speaks in a calm and natural way to such divisive issues as religion, the criminalization of abortion, poverty, a forgotten war, and the pressure of patriarchy, which hurt men too. And at the same time, without pointing fingers and with great elegance, it tells the story of humanistic values, including community, family, solidarity, and above all, education.
The Amnesty International Film Award 2023 at the 73rd Berlinale goes to Al Mahakun by Amr Ramal.
Thank you so much for the jury. This means a lot for us. We are very honored, and I hope this will be an inspiration for the youngest generation of filmmakers in my country to continue doing art and cinema, even in this tough situation. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Congratulations. So, photo call in the digital age, nothing to hear. It's incredible. No shutters, nothing, no clack, 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 clack. It's all silent. Well, something new. Let's continue our ceremony with the prizes of the ecumenical jury. The ecumenical jury is a merger of the international film organizations, both of the Protestant and of the Catholic churches, Interfilm and Signis. The jury awards films with a certain religious connotation. This does not mean, however, open displays of religious messages. The objective is merely to award films that expose spiritual, human or social values. The jury awards its main prize to a film entered in the competition. Furthermore, there are two other prizes, both worth 2,500 euros, one to a film from the Panorama section, one to a film of the Forum section. I'd like to introduce this year's jury: Paul da Silva, Ariel Dormont, Kerstin Heinemann, Miriam Holstein, who is president of the jury, Anne Lecor, and Alberto Ramos Ruiz.
So, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Thank you, Holger, for the introduction. I just would like to add that our prizes are sponsored by the Protestant Church in Germany, EKD, as well as the Deutsche Bischofskonferenz, the German Bishop Conference. And as you already heard, we have three prizes. We are awarding three prizes. And before we announce the winners, I just would like to thank again my jury. It was an immense honor to work with my, not partners in crime, but my partners in film for the last 10 days. And it was an immense honor to be with our ecumenical jury at the festival. So we are going to start with our prize for the forum. Alberto, please.
How can the horror of political imprisonment and torture be told? The Iranian filmmaker and architect Mehran Tamadon, who has lived in France since his youth and returns to his homeland time and again for projects, has found an impressive way. He places his characters Homa Kalori, Tagir Rahmani, and Maziar Ebrahimi in a space which recreates their former prisons, where God is not, as one of the jailers said to Homa Kalori, and as such, becomes a rogue scenario that triggers in them memories of past suffering, humiliation, and torture. An original cinematic device allowing for a performative reenactment to sharing their harrowing experiences, which becomes a denunciation of a reality that is still Iran's nowadays. The prize of the ecumenical jury for a film in the forum goes to Jahi Ke Khoda Nist, Where God Is Not, by Mehran Tamadon.
Is there someone from the team here?
I'm afraid there's no one from the team around anymore. But I'm very, very happy about this prize, and I'm also very happy that on behalf of Mehran Tamadon, I'm the one who's going to sort of like get it for the moment, and then we'll send it to Paris, of course. And we were in touch with Mehran. He's very happy. He sends his best regards, and he also sends a couple of words of gratitude, which I would like to read to you. I would like to thank the jury for choosing my film, Where God Is Not. I hope it will contribute to how we question our humanity in contexts of extreme violence, where men who defend an ultra-repressive system crush the bodies and the souls of their fellow human beings to achieve their goals. Where these same fellow human beings resist this violence and sometimes even overcome it, preserving their humanity and becoming able to speak, bear witness, love, and say that life goes on once again. Thank you.
All right, Anne will present our award for the panorama section.
So in the panorama section, the prize is awarded to sages-femmes, midwives, by French director Léa Fener for the strong and genuine depiction of the midwife ward of a public hospital in Paris. The film shows the intensity of their daily work and the challenges they encounter and overcome. The film brilliantly shows the shortcomings of the system on one hand, and the dedication of the staff accompanying women who are about to bring new lives into the world on the other hand. The seamless integration of drama and documentary adds to the impact of the film. So, the ecumenical jury prize for the panorama section goes to Sage-Femme by director Léa Fener.
Well, I'm obviously not Lena Fener, so I'm accepting this on her behalf and her team. She wants to convey her gratitude, of course, to the ecumenical jury, and is very happy. We will make sure this will reach her safe and sound. Thank you so much.
So now to our main prize. The ecumenical jury unanimously has chosen to award the Mexican film Totem, directed by Lila Aviles, as the best picture. Here's why. The film is a moving portrait of a family who is dealing with the terminal illness of a young man, member of the family. The story is told from the point of view of his little daughter and unfolds during one special day. The jury was genuinely blown away by the complex and sensitive way of illustrating the love holding this family together, neither false nor idolized. It also highlights how Mexican culture deals with death and celebrates life at the same time. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm super happy. Berlin has been amazing. A roller coaster. And it's funny because from Mexico, you know the way going, no? You're a filmmaker, no? And And family is like, what you're going to wear, no? And I'm like, yes, this, do that, no? My father, I was taking my boots to polish, no? And go, girl, you need to look amazing, no? And that's super beautiful. That's cinema, no? And also, because I love tenderness and I love to be, what else, no? You know, we're so wild and freaky in the computers and doing stuff, and what else, no? And I wanted to bring something nice for my tribe, for the family that is cinema. And my daughter, my beautiful daughter, that she's 16, and I made this film for her memory, because, you know, sometimes it's like that song, no? Like, hey, ho, and it's that roller coasters, like light and darkness, but it's always about the light. And she helped me doing this also with Tati, the producer, that we are partners, no? And Luis also, but we were in Mexico and making these beautiful sellos, I don't know how is the translation, of animals. And I wanted to give to all my tribe, but we were working so much and moving, and we didn't have time to give properly to the team. But there are bees here, and there are families, but I also read about, you know, I know that cinematographers are also philosophers, I guess. Sometimes it's like that, or we pretend we are, no? And I think that obviously the totem is love, or whatever we want to think, no? Because it's also about the house, it's also about the family, it's about all those layers that put us together. But I read yesterday something, a Tibetan stuff that speaks that it's about communion, and to rediscover that communion. Because, of course, I'm super happy that I came to the competition, no? And it's like, no, wow, you see all the filmmakers that have been in 73 years, and it's amazing, no? And I'm here, but we are competing all the time, no? We're competing for having more likes, we're competing for everything. So it's nice to be wild and to be a cinematographer. Light! Thank you.
I have to keep you one more minute, because there was another movie very special to our hearts. So we decided to give a special mention to Sur l'Adamant by French director Nicolas Philibert for the respectful approach to a group of mentally challenged people on a daycare center on a barge on the River Seine by fostering a sense of community. We loved it very much. Monsieur Philibert.
You can't imagine how deep I'm touched receiving this mention. My parents, especially my mother, who is now 100, nearly 3. She spent her life in trying to unite religions, cultures. She was deeply concerned by ecumenism, and I grew up with such parents, so I feel very deeply touched. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Thank you very much. The prizes of the ecumenical jury. Thanks a lot. So, AG Kino Gilde Deutscher Filmkunsttheater e.V. You know what it means? Not easy to translate. It means Association Team Cinema Guild of German Art House Cinemas, and is the organization of film professionals who run art house cinemas, representing more than 300 cinemas throughout Germany. These cinemas offer a strong personal approach towards the world of film, according to the high knowledge of these enthusiasts who run these cinemas. They stand for a cinematic experience with a considerable amount of personal touch. Also, they encourage and maintain the dialogue between filmmakers and their audience, and they award the Gilde Filmpreis for a film in the competition section. This prize has been at home here at the Berlinale for over 30 years now. This year's jury is Ansgar Esch from Münster, Stefanie Klepisius and Maret Wolf. I'd like to ask Ansgar to join me on the stage. Kommst alleine?
That would have been a shame. It's a really beautiful award. So first of all, on behalf of my fellow jury members, Maret and Stefanie, who unfortunately can't be with us here today, I want to thank the Berlinale for a really incredibly diverse and interesting array of films we've been able to see in this year's competition. But still, we came to an unanimous decision. So this warm-hearted debut film brings a fresh take on the important issue of gender identity. The sensitive and complex story of a family finds images and allegories for the diversity of human existence in the titular piece and in the art of sculpting. The ensemble of actors alone is worthy of an award, as layer by layer it reveals the individual, differently shaped stories and thus enables cross-generational identification with the characters. The prevailing perspective of a child searching for itself builds a cinematic bridge to a broad audience. Especially the sensitively staged scenes between the completely unbiased children make social, mostly adult categories crack and obsolete. Furthermore, the film is fittingly set in the trilingual Basque country that, with its specific history as a place, reflects the character's search for identity. From there, wonderfully photographed images transport the multi-layered screenplay directly into the hearts of our cinema audience. So our award goes to 20,000 Species of Bees by Estibalis Oresola Solaguren.
Thank you very much. It has been a real pleasure to hear you. It has been as if I could be seeing my film for the first time, which is almost science fiction for all directors who have been, that we feel our films already so, but listening to you and underlining all these aspects, also the fact that the Basque Country also takes an important part there, as we are very proud of having brought also to La Berlinale the Basque language, which is also a sign of marginalized cultures and identities, of course. So it has been a real pleasure to come to Berlin, and thank you Berlinale for giving us the opportunity to show our little story with the biggest audience we could dream with. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much and congratulations. So the Gilde AG provides not only one of the oldest, but also the youngest prize in the round of this award ceremony. Now for the second time, correct me if I'm wrong, third time, that's it. There's a new prize called AG Kino Gilde 14 Plus, and I'd like to welcome the jury of this award in our midst. The aim of the prize is to strengthen innovative cinema for young people beyond the festival. The jury awards a feature film. In the Generation 14 Plus section, the winning film will be sent on a cinema tour by AG Kino to inspire a young audience with additional offers. This year's jury consists of cinema operators that are members of the AG Kino Gilde e.V., Josephine Nathalie Kraft from Broadway Trier, Erich Panier from Lichtburg Oberhausen, and Hanna Strzepkowska from Arsenal Tübingen. I'd like to ask you to join me on the stage.
Hello. First of all, we want to thank Melika Grote, Sebastian Markt very much for the invitation to this jury, to the Berlinale, and the great films and the opportunity to being part of the bigger picture. And furthermore, we give a very big thank you and the biggest hug to Petra Rockenfeller, who did an amazing job in supporting us on this journey. So, we saw 14 movies during this last week, and the most amazing thing happened. We fell in love. We fell in love with a lot of movies, but one stood out, made us laugh, and shook us to the very core. This festival feeling we like to share with you and grant an award. But most of all, we will share this movie with a young audience next year. After the festival, the Gilde Film Prize winning film from the Berlinale Generation 14 Plus section goes on a nationwide cinema tour named Berlinale Spotlight Generation Cinema Vision 14 Plus. Accompanied by the AG Kino Gilde with the participation of the Cinema Vision 14 Plus jury, aka us, and Vision Kino, the non-profit company for promoting the film and media skills of children and young people. So, while looking into a camera, seeing its pictures, using it to see fragments of fiction and reality, the camera lost maybe a bit of its obscurity, but none of its magic. Since the first picture taken, we cannot unsee, and the king said, "What a fantastic machine," is truly and in the best sense a generation film. It invites and demands generation spanning to think, discuss, like and share. We see the first fictional footsteps in narrating magical cinema tumble in vertigo with self-marketing tweens. We dare to see pictures of despair and demise, of human life and of pillars of democracy. Is it weird to have an amazing time with a film that bold despite all that? Please take it as a heartfelt invitation to expand your media and film literacy. We wouldn't all be here, literally, without the camera. And to quote the film, it's science, bitch. If it was not clearly, the movie's name is "And the King Said, What a Fantastic Machine." we want to thank, but nobody's here. We will send it afterwards.
Thank you very much. It's quite a good thing to take a closer look, especially on these offers for a young audience, because, well, these are, well, the audience of the future, more or less, and it's such a great thing that this young audience has such a great forum in this generation 14 plus. Here in Germany it's a little bit different with these age indications. It says normally you add 30 years. So for example, there's a party, they call it Ü30, over 30 party, and people are 60. So it's you have to be a little bit careful, but at the Berlinale section I was so overwhelmed. It's generation 14 plus, and the audience is also 14 plus, so it fits perfectly well. I liked it very much. CKA. The CKA is an acronym that stands for Confédération Internationale des Cinémas d'Art et d'Essai, an international confederation of the art house cinemas founded in the year 1955. The objectives of the CKA are to encourage art house cinemas to come together at the national and also the international stages and to obtain support for art house films from governmental bodies. The CKA forms two juries, one for the panorama section and one for the forum section. As every year, the panorama is not only about the film and the experience of watching film, but also about the relationship between filmmakers and their audience, and it is as interactive as it could be. Think of the forum, all those different possibilities to meet, all those different possibilities to talk. This is Panorama. The Panorama tracks down moods and developments in contemporary international cinema and has its finger on the pulse of the times, aesthetically, formally, and politically, as curator Michael Stütz puts it. The CKA Art Cinema Award for the Panorama section, introduced by this year's jury, Jörg Jakob, Benedict Latino, and Brian Robinson, who is also the speaker of the jury.
Good morning. We are the Panorama section of the CKA jury. I'm Brian Robinson, and I'm flanked by my very worthy jurors. I've been astonished being in Berlin that really every time that we see a film, we learn something new and we're excited, and I feel that the word community has come across very often, and that you're all philosophers, politicians, and artists in a wonderful thing, and it's partly due to people like Michael Stütz and his Panorama that's brought us here. But we had 16 films that we viewed, and we'd like to thank our mother hen, Berglake, who looked after us so well. And I'm going to read the citation of our jury now. Leonie Benisch gives a brilliant central performance as a secondary school teacher forced to deal with the unintended consequences of her actions as she attempts to discover the truth behind a series of thefts at her school. Director Ilka Chatak keeps us on the edge of our seats as he tells a compelling story that takes us to the heart of what honesty and community cohesion mean in a world fractured by distrust and distortion of the truth. This is a film which will provoke intense discussions about public and private morality, which goes beyond the educational sphere. It's my great pleasure to say that the award goes to Das Lehrerzimmer by Ilka Chatak.
Well, thank you so much. It was just a crazy week, but it was just, completely overwhelming. Thank you to Carlo and Mariette and Michael Stütz and their teams for having us. We really felt like we were part of a family, and thanks for your hospitality. And I just, you know, I can't say too much other than also I want to thank you, Leonie, because you're just this extremely talented, wonderful human being. Thank you. Thank you for going on this journey with me. So, yes.
Thank you very, very much. We feel very honored.
And I think I forgot to thank the jury as well. Sorry.
Let's pose for the photos. The rest of them did.
Congratulations. So sorry for not giving you this advice earlier to all the people awarded here. You can move this, you know? So you can put it up and you can put it down. So no need to speak or so sorry, just should have prepared you a little bit earlier, but well, we'll see. Better late than never. So the CKA also runs a jury that views the Forum program. The Forum program is known to be a Berlinale section that eagerly tries to avoid the borders of the genre. The Forum program aims to broaden the understanding of cinema, to go to the edges of the familiar, and to open up perspectives with which cinema can be understood as a new way and related to the world, as Christina Nord, the head of the Forum program, wrote in her introduction for the section. The CKA Art Cinema Award for the Forum section presented by this year's jury, Sofia Bullia, Bruno Castro and Ibrahim Saad.
I should do this, right? So good morning, everybody. First of all, Sofia from Moronia Cinema in Budapest, Hungary, and Ibrahim from Animation School Jesuit Cairo in Egypt, and myself, Bruno, from Alvalade Cine Club in Portugal, Lisbon. Want to say thank you for the Berlinale and for the CKA for the opportunity of taking this journey into the Forum section. In such a special year. And for those that are not aware of, the CKA is the International Confederation of Art House Cinemas that does a priceless work defending exhibition sector and cinema by itself. So without further ado, we will be keeping this very short. We want to state that through its use of mixed media, creating a very personal fingerprint, addressing identity as a topic both imagined and real, and the playful approach on filmmaking, this film dwells into the irony of living in the present times. The film grasps control while looking deep into personal doubts and desires, accepting that change is a part of life and cinema. So please join us congratulating Melissa Liebenthal and her team from the Argentinian film El Rostro de la Medusa, The Face of the Jellyfish.
Okay, there it goes. Thank you. We're so happy with this award. Thank you to the jury for creating this net, this community for art and essay film that sometimes the ones who we do this, we feel a bit alone. So it's really nice to know there are others out there. Also, thank you so much to Forum, Berlinale, because it has been amazing. And well, also thank you to my producer here, Eugenia from Gentil Cine, and all the team in Argentina. Yes, thank you very much.
yeah, congratulations, and yeah, thank you for making use of this mechanism. This, in Germany, this has a wonderful name. It's called Schwanenhalsmikrofon. It means swan's neck microphone. Lovely. Only possible in German. So, as every year, also this year's Berlinale saw a number of readers of the two biggest Berlin quality newspapers in the screenings of the competition, the Morgenpost, and of the encounters section. That's new from the Tagesspiegel. They voted for the prizes of their readers' jury. To start with the Berliner Morgenpost, it was my colleague Peter Zander who guided the group through the festival and gave critical advice for judging films. Peter, this is your stage.
Hello to everybody. Because of COVID, there was no reader jury for the last 2 years, although it is an old tradition. Since 1974, so for now 50 years, our newspaper, the Berliner Morgenpost, is sending readers to the Berlinale to watch the movies in competition and then award the audience's favorite. After this 2-year break, it is now possible again, and you could feel everyone's desire to come back to the Berlinale, to watch the movies. Please join me in welcoming this year's jury. Bitte kommt alle auf die Bühne. Orietta Angelini, Joanna Bellini, Malte Brose, Holger Beisitzer, Dorin Gense, Harald Günther, Maike Hilbring, Petra Luber, Claudia Niewert, Katharina Peter-Wari, Johannes Tom Dieck und Katja Techretz-Stock. Please look at them. These are no film experts, no critics. These are moviegoers, those who end up buying the tickets in the cinema. This is why this prize is of great interest for film producers, distributors, and cinema operators. And some Berlinale movies even gained a German distribution after receiving this audience award. This year, the Reader's Jury Prize of the Berliner Morgenpost goes to the vast film 20,000 Species of Bees. Before you get the prize, please listen to the statement of the jury.
Gracias por una película tan auténtica y fuerte. 20.000 especies de abejas termina con la cuestión, ¿estás despierta, mamá? Todos nosotros estamos bien despiertos ahora y eso es lo que queremos para nuestra sociedad también.
So, nochmal kurz auf Deutsch und Englisch. Vielen Dank für diesen authentischen und starken Film. 20,000 Species of Bees endet mit der Frage, bist du wach, Mama? Wir sind danach hellwach und wünschen uns das für unsere Gesellschaft auch. Thank you very much for this authentic and strong movie. 20,000 Species of Bees ends with the question, are you awake, Mom? We are wide awake afterwards and wish the same for our society. Thank you.
It's hard to explain how I feel by seeing you all, meaning this micro audience, no? But representative of a great audience, because I think that as directors, always, or at least me, when I start a movie, I'm very boost from a social desire to make something with my work that really helps people getting, as you said, like this sense of communion, no? And trying to approach people to topics that are not related to them so they can see them in a new way. And I just tried to bring the audience the privilege that I had by accompanying many families going through these experiences. And it's very easy that we finally forget when you start making this. Well, I'm being selected in Berlinale, which is fantastic, but you forget sometimes, and you get a little bit totally. That I mean that you remember myself what I'm making this film, and I thank you very much for this lovely sum up of your feelings. And before I didn't say it, but I am super thankful to my producers that have been with me in these 5 long years, that are also responsible of this artifact. And thank you very much, all of you. It's a pleasure to receive also these flowers, which means diversity, and let's celebrate diversity of voices and people living in the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, that was great. Just post-pandemic, thank you. And trilingual speech. Well, very impressive, very impressive. Now, finally, there's something new in our award ceremony. After 20 years of cooperating with the Forum, this year, the Tagesspiegel's Readers' Jury is dedicating itself for the first time to the Encounters section, which sees itself as a platform for daring feature films and documentaries that promote new perspectives on contemporary cinema. I'd like to ask my co-worker, my colleague Christiane Peitz, to join me on the stage and to introduce her jury. Christiane.
Yeah, is this also Schwanenhals? Thanks to Encounters, to Carlo and to Mark Parenson also for having us for our 15th Readers' Jury at the Berlinale. And as my colleague Peter Zander already said, after 2 years break because of the pandemic, it was wonderful to finally have a Readers' Jury again, and to have the possibility to fulfill our desire to see films together. As films are always meeting points which connect us, it fits also very well to have a jury in the section called Encounters. Bringing people together, connecting people, looking at their concerns, their worries and their fantasies is also something which we as a newspaper try to do every day, last but not least with our Berlin Film Festival coverage in the last 10 days. The 7 members of our jury saw the 16 entries in Encounters. Please join me on stage. Jacqueline Blösch, Arthur Hake, Vincent Kelani, Laura Clemens, Hans Krestel, Detlef Müller und Irmela Schuller. Please come. They did a long journey and a far journey too, from Mexico to Moldavia, from Bergamo to the Iran, the Ukraine and to Tibet. Thank you very much to Angela Hannawald, who navigated all the 7 through the program and through this film festival. So, but now, who's the winner? The Readers' Jury of the Tagesspiegel awards its prize for the best film in Encounters to Ma biographie politique, My Political Biography by Paul B. Preciado. Congratulations.
hope I do this right.
Irmela
Is it okay?
Schuller will read the jury's
Yeah.
comment, and I just heard that Hans Krestel didn't make it today because he finally got sick, but only today. All the other days, they were fine.
Okay, Virginia Woolf's Orlando is truly alive. Moreover, he is dancing on the stage of gender diversity. The director, Paul Preciado, celebrates the transformability of the human body. His characters first recount the story of their own personal life and then slip into the role of Orlando. Their individual stories merge into a collective experience framed aesthetically in passages from Virginia Woolf's novel. This culminates in a simple request. The determination of one's own identity is rooted in the individual. This deserves our applause as humans.
Wow. Okay, this is for you. Yes. Well, I'm overwhelmed. I like to say, of course, thank you so much to the jury. Until the last minute, I'm thinking what I'm doing here. This is not possible. They made a mistake. This is not me. Maybe you don't know me. I'm really not a filmmaker. I'm just a trans and non-binary writer, and this is my first film. And I'm so excited and overwhelmed. It's been such an amazing adventure to see the film here at La Berlinale. And I'd like to say thank you to the 25 non-binary and trans actors, actresses, and others that participated in the film and made this film possible. And to my producers who are not here today, they will come later. And also to the Arte TV, public TV, who made possible this film. Because this is like a public funded project, really made with a very little budget. And this will only be possible if we keep public projects working. So thank you so much for giving me this prize. And honestly, thank you. And I don't really think that I deserve it, but whatever, you decided. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and félicitations. So far for our award ceremony. Before you all go out now, I would like to ask all the award winners here on stage. We will take a group photos with all the award winners. And afterwards, feel free to take the list with all the prizes given today. All the best. See you next year in good health. Bye-bye.